Good morning, you guys. I suppose when you see this, it may not be morning, but good morning anyways. Section 5.1, as you can see from the title. This information that's on this chart is information that you guys have to, for lack of a better word, memorize. It's all information that you're responsible for. I will not be providing you that information on any test or quiz. So, in effect, yep, you got to memorize it. There's three different forms for writing the equation of a parabola. And a parabola is a curve that looks generally like this. It can either open up or it can open down. And it's spelled P-A-R, parabola. Okay, parabola. Standard form looks like this, as you guys can read it. Vertex form, this is the vertex of a parabola. It's either the lowest most point or the highest most point. When it's written in vertex form, it looks like this. And the vertex can be read HK. So it's a coordinate. It's a coordinate for that coordinate. I suppose that was redundant. For the vertex. This one's an x-intercept form, and you guys are aware of what x-intercepts are. If I were to put this on a graph, and those are the x and y axis, this would be an x-intercept, this would be an x-intercept. And you can read the x-intercepts right out of the graph, right there, the x-intercepts, P and Q. All right, I'll explain more of this as we go. I'm just giving you the names of what they are. I'll fill out a chart like this in just a second. On the next page. Okay, so if an equation is given to you in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. A is 3, b is 12, c is 8. To find the vertex, read the opposite of b and divide it by twice a. Now that's the x value of the vertex. So again, the vertex is going to be a coordinate. So we got to find the coordinate of the vertex. Once you guys know the x value, how do you find it? Well, think back to when you guys were making coordinate trees, when you first started learning about how to find coordinates. If I told you a -1, what'd you do with the -1? To find the y value, you filled it back in. So once you find this x value, you go and you fill it back into the equation. So I call it FBI, fill it back in. Okay? So opposite of b, -12, twice a, 2 times 3, so that's -12 over 6. So the x value is -2. And if you take that and fill it back in, so you'd have 3, -2 squared plus 12 times -2 plus 8. So that's 4 times 3 is 12 plus a -24 plus 8. So that would be, would that be 20? So -4. -4 is the x value. Okay. To find the vertex in vertex form, you read this opposite and you read this one the same. So your coordinate is 5, 2. Explaining a little bit more about these. These are your x-intercepts, and you read both of them opposite. And so your x-intercepts are 5 and -2. If you want to write them as coordinates, it would be 5, 0 and -2, 0. It is not 5, -2 as a coordinate. No. It is not as a coordinate. These are individual things, and as a coordinate, that's as they are. I'm totally fine if you guys write it like this. Do not put it in parentheses because that means a coordinate. And as they're written, they're not coordinates. Okay? They're locations on the x-axis. Okay. When you have a parabola, so this is a graph, and let's say your parabola is opening up like this. This parabola is going to be symmetric right down through the center. It's going to go right through the vertex, that line of symmetry, this parabola would fold on that line of symmetry and land on the other half. These x-intercepts are symmetric about that axis of symmetry. This distance is the same. If it's the same distance on both sides, this is the middle between the two x-intercepts. So if you were to average is middle, the two x-intercepts, you would find the x value of the coordinate. So you just average them, 5 plus negative 2 over 2. So that would be 3 over 2, and that's the x value for the coordinate for the vertex, because the vertex has to be on that line of symmetry. It has to be. So then you take 3/2 and you fill it into this, and thought I had done that ahead of time, but I guess I didn't, so let's do it right now. Negative 3, 1.5 minus 5, and 1.5 plus 2. So I'll grab a handy calculator, type the thing in. So you got negative 3, 1.5 minus 5, and whoops, hit the wrong key. Imagine that, 1.5 plus 2. And I get 36 3/4. So coming in here, 36 3/4. Okay, so this vertex is quite a ways up there. All right, these two for now in this chapter we're not going to worry about. So you'll need them in future chapters, but for this chapter you don't need to worry about it. Axis of symmetry. As I drew in this little picture, your vertex is on your axis of symmetry, and that axis of symmetry is a vertical line. That's the x-axis. So your axis of symmetry is going to look like x is equal to some number. That's the equation of the vertical line. So the equation for the axis of symmetry, generically, x is equal to the opposite of b over 2a, because that's the x value of your vertex. But more specifically for this problem, it's x is equal to negative 2. This one, x is equal to 5. And this one, x is equal to 3/2. Okay? So to graph these things, first thing you want to do, the first time you set up your calculator, is make sure that your table is set so that it's going to fill it out for you. So both of these need to be checked. Now how you get this is you type the second key and then window. It's on the top row of buttons right below your screen. I believe it's the second button in, so second window. And just make sure both of those are highlighted to auto. If they're not highlighted to auto, arrow down and select them. To get a table to show up, to get it to build one of these, all you have to do is you'll type an equation in, and I'll show you where to type the equation, and then hit second graph. Again, graph will be on that top row of buttons, just like window was on. It's the far right button. Second graph, and it will build one of these tables for you. And you'll be able to scroll using your arrow buttons up and down in the table. It should scroll up and down. Again, I wish I could actively do this for you, but in the software I can't pull it up. So those two things need to be set. You need to make sure that both are to auto, and then how you get to this table is second graph, and I'll show you that in just a second. So to graph this equation, first thing you need to do is hit your y equals button in the upper left of your calculator and just type it in as you see it. Okay? Before you graph it, finding the vertex. So the opposite of b over 2a, we already did this. The coordinate was, I'm forgetting already. Let's see, we can go back and find the coordinate. It was -2, -4. So the vertex was -2, -4. So we can put that on the graph before we even start. -2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's the vertex. The axis of symmetry, because we have the vertex, is going to be x is equal to -2. So our parabola should be symmetric about this line. Okay, should be symmetric about it. I've already typed the equation in. I hit second graph. Here's the table of values. 0, 8 would easily show up on the graph. 23 is definitely too far, so let's go 0, 8. Oh, I'd like you guys to be able to graph 4 to 6, somewhere in there, points to get your parabola. Somewhere between 4 and 6 points. So 0, 8, so there's 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put a point. And then, let's see, -1, -1. And the next point is -2, -4, which is your vertex. So right there is your vertex. Okay, we already got that on there. And this is symmetric. So I can go straight across, the same distance across, and the same height on that axis of symmetry. And I have the other points. Okay, now your curve, your parabola should look curved. It shouldn't go point, point. That's the absolute value graph. Now, bear with me, guys. Graphing on this with this slate is proved to be quite the challenge for me. So bear with me. I'm trying. I'm working hard. Okay, maybe in a couple years I'll be good at this, but right now, not so much. Woo. All right, that was a fail. All right, let's come back and try this again. Okay, come on, you can do it. Nope. Okay. Yeah, who needs drugs when you can just try graphing? I know, you're probably like, I can't believe you just said that, but yeah. All right, let's try coming down at it then, since going up isn't working so good. Only marginally better. Okay, that looks like absolute poo. All right. Okay, I hope you guys can do better with pencil than I can do with the slate. I'm going to just say I'm embarrassed to move on. So, there we go. Next one. I want to graph this thing. The vertex, you can read straight out of it. It's 5, 2. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Put a dot. I've already typed the equation in. Y equals. Here's the table. 7, 14 will just barely fit if this is 5, 6, 7. I believe it goes up to 13. Let's check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, 13. So 7, 14 is going to be just off the picture. And symmetrically, because this would be the axis of symmetry, x is equal to 5, the axis of symmetry is right through here. It's right through the center of the parabola. The symmetry should tell you that the other one is going to be 2 units the other side and up here. Okay, looking back at the table, there it is, 3, 14. So 3 over, 14 up. Okay, 4, 5. So 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And with the symmetry, the other one should be over here. Okay, so let's try, come on, go curved. Okay. Are we getting any luckier in this one? Looks like, oh my gosh, I was close. Okay. And let's go. Oh my gosh, I barely got it. All right, so there's the parabola. Still kind of lame, but it's certainly better than the last one was. Okay. All right, this one, your x-intercepts. You're going to read both those opposite are 5, -2. You can go to your x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2. Those are your x-intercepts. Your axis of symmetry is halfway in between those. Remember, we averaged them before, so that would be 5 plus -2 over 2. So that would be 3 over 2. So 1.5. This would be your axis of symmetry right there here. Now, this one is different from the other ones in that our leading coefficient is negative. Whenever your leading coefficient is negative, so the value of A, so if I jump back, the value of A is 3, A is 3, A is -3. When A is negative, your parabola is going to open downwards. Okay? So just so you're aware, this parabola is going to open down. We know that straight away. It's going to be opening downward. Okay? there's your axis of symmetry. Let's see, where was I going? All right, your vertex is on this axis of symmetry. If I were to take the 3 halves and fill it back into this, I think we found before, so your vertex is going to be the coordinate 1.5, and then I think it was 36 3/4 is what I found when I filled that back in, if you go back 2 pages to 3 pages. So 36 3/4 isn't going to fit. So if I count by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, so on, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Okay, so on this line, 36 3/4 is going to be your vertex. I type the equation in, and look, I've got a series of values. 6, -24. So if this was 5, 6, and I'm counting by 3s, 3, 6, 9, so it should be 8 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, one more. There you go. One more, so that goes there. And again, being symmetric, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. Okay. Or one more than your x-intercept is there. So I've got that one, and I've got that one. Now 5, 0, and -2, 0 x-intercepts. 4 and 18, -1 and 18. So 4, 18, and this one and 18. So then 0 and 30. So 0 and 30 would make this one and this one. And then 36 and 36 for the next one. So I'm going to pull it up a little. Okay, so then this one and this one. Okay, let's see if I can't get that parabola going. Alright. Whoa, how did I miss that? Come across, down there. Okay, I almost got it. Okay. Do you guys talk to yourself when you draw? I don't know. Why does this seem so painfully difficult for me? Okay, that wasn't so bad. Certainly better than the first one. At least I'm improving. Okay. Excuse me. So there we go. So that's, again, graphically. Writing these things in standard form. You're going to follow PEMDAS. We've been practicing that all year. You're going to work down PEMDAS, taking care of the parentheses first. You cannot distribute that inside. That takes place down here at the multiplication level. Okay? So the first thing you got to do, and I know it's been a while since you guys have done this, you're going to have to FOIL this out. So first, so I'm doing FOIL. First thing is x squared, outside, minus 5x, inside, minus 5x, last. So plus 25. So you got x squared minus 10x plus 25 times 3. That's the next thing you do. So it'd be 3x squared minus 10x, oops, 30x. I apologize, I didn't multiply that in. Goes to everybody. Minus 30x plus 75. And then the plus 2 is still here. So your final answer is y is equal to 3x squared minus 30x plus 77. Okay? This one, you're just going to, it's in x-intercept form, so you'd FOIL it first, hold on to this, do it last, FOIL that first, so you'd have x squared plus 2x minus 5x minus 10. And then collect like terms, x squared minus 3x minus 10. And then it still has this negative sign out front, so distribute the negative through. So y is equal to negative x squared plus 3x plus 10. Okay, I think that's the last slide. Let me try and move one page over. Yep, so there you go.